Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. If you guys are over here in Asia, then it's a good evening to all of you. Now, before we begin, right, today's webinar's topic is going to be MT4 crash course with me, Isaac, and I will just try to share as much tips and tricks that I have with you guys, that I can with you guys, right, regarding MT4. And if we have time, okay, I will gladly go through the markets with you as well. Now, before we begin, just some housekeeping matters, right? This is really the disclaimer. Understand that the information contained in this material is intended for general advice only. It does not take into account your investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs. Right, so while FP Markets has made every effort to ensure the accuracy of the information as at the date of this webinar today, FP Markets does not give any warranty or representation as to the accuracy, reliability of the information contained in this presentation. Now, having said that, it is me as the presenter who have done my due diligence to give you guys as accurate as possible my views on the market. But take note, however, that really none of this is considered as solicitation for investment or in any form or matter. All right, it's really for your informational purposes only. All right, as for that, okay, whatever questions you guys may have, right, I like to keep the webinar really sort of free flowing and really interactive, right, instead of a one way where I'm just talking and talking, right. For those of you, the attendees, right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire away. I will do my best to give you guys a proper answer. Now, if I cannot, okay, I will also be frank and honest to tell you guys that I will get back to you with the answers the moment I manage to get them. All right, as long as we have that understanding, we are good to go. So for today's webinar, right, it's really pretty introductory, right? It's really called the MT4 crash course. And this is really what we're going to be covering today, right? The first point will be introduction to MT4. And then I'll show you guys how to download MT4 from the FP Markets, First Prudential Markets website. And then how to, after you guys have installed it, I'll show you guys how to link your account and then how to navigate MT4. What are the tips and tricks that I think would help your trading? Okay, so having said that, I just want to get a sense, right, of you guys, the attendees, right? I want to really know what is the sort of understanding or knowledge level or experience level, okay, that you guys have when it comes to trading. Okay, so I don't want to make this boring for those who are really experienced. Neither do I want to make this too technical for those who are new to trading. All right, so just take a minute, all right, and just leave the answer, okay, write it down in the question pane, okay, and leave an answer to let me know, right, the experience levels that you guys have with trading. All right, so I'm just waiting for your answers. Hi, good morning, George. Okay, it'll be nice to know how many months, years of experience that you have with trading. Hi, Bevan. Good morning to you. Some experience, few months to few years. Okay, maybe you can give a time frame, like maybe few months or 1 to 2 years, or maybe longer than that, like 5 to 10 years, that sort of thing. All right, I have a few other people here as well. Not really responding. Love it if you guys could respond so I know how to better tailor this webinar. Okay, so okay, wow, Bevan, you've been around for 5 years. Wow, fantastic. So you pretty experienced. Okay, George, trading mainly, okay, with practicing accounts for 1 year. That is very prudent and that is really good. Okay, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly, Nomiya. Right, I hope I got that pronunciation correct. Right, so Nomiya, you have been around for 3 years. Fair enough. Okay, that's pretty good as well. All right, so okay, so it's really quite a broad range of experience that we have here in this room, right? We have really people who have some experience, all right, all the way to the definitely more experience, the 5-year mark, right? Most traders supposedly fall away after 2 years of proper trading. Okay, so for myself, right, I just share with you guys a bit about me. Okay, my name is Isaac. All right, I'm based over here in Singapore, sunny Singapore in Asia. Right, and now what qualifies me to share with you guys is that I hold both the CMT and the CFTE designation, right? So that is the Chartered Market Technicians and also the Certified Technical Financial Technician cert. Okay, and I currently co-chair the Singapore chapter for the CMT, right? So in terms of theory, in terms of technical analysis, I believe that I really do have that experience and knowledge to share the best practices that I have with you guys. All right, and in terms of trading, I've been doing this myself for about this year. 2021 will be my 7th year coming now. Okay, so with that, let's quickly dive into the topics. All right, I will not show so much, okay, from the slides, okay, because it's really more focused on MT4. Okay, so I will show you guys how to navigate MT4 on the MT4 platform itself. Hi Carlos, wow, you're from Mexico, fantastic, nice to meet you. Right, nice to meet you. I hope you guys are all keeping safe from the virus situation. Okay, so okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so for those of you, okay, who are really experienced, I think there's really no need for further introduction into MT4. All right, but I will do this really quickly for the benefit of those who are newer. All right, when I first started trading and when I first started using MT4, you know, to me it was really clunky. It looked really old. It looked something like from the Windows 95 era sort of thing, right? However, MT4 has been around for a really long time, and there is a reason why it's been around for a really long time, right? So why is MT4 so widely used, right? Number one, currently it's really the most popular trading platform for FX traders. Reason being, okay, it's definitely free to use. All right, and it can work for various styles of trading, whether you are a discretionary trader, whether you're a systematic trader, whether you build your own algos, or whether you use your EA, right, expert advisors, right, and you put it into the MT4 platform. Okay, so that is why the take up rate, okay, for MT4 is so high, right? And a lot of brokers actually tweak MT4 as a software to be used right, by their clients. Okay, so MT4 is very stable. Now, for those of you who have been trading for quite some time now, you guys will know the important points, right? Points 4, 5, and 6, right? Those are important points, and I'm sure you will agree with me. For those of you who are new, right, you'll realize that why people use MT4 is because it really is very stable, right? When I say stable, what I mean is that there's barely any lag. Okay, there's barely any bugs. All right, when you input an order, the order is immediately sent from the MT4 terminal straight to your broker, right, and then straight into the order book. Okay, there really is no rerouting or anything, right? And at the same time, okay, MT4 it consumes very little computer resources, right? So if you have very low RAM, right, if you're running even on a laptop, right, a low powered laptop, you can run MT4 pretty smoothly, right? I have friends who run their own EA or their own systematic trading strategies, right? They just leave it on a low powered laptop. Okay, it doesn't have to be expensive, a low power laptop, all right, and then they just run 1 or 2 strategies, and the MT4 will actually help them to auto execute the trade through the EA, right? So that's how they do it. Okay, and of course MT4 works very well even when there's low internet bandwidth. All right, what that really means, okay, is the fact that with this I'm not sure how the internet is like for you guys, or where you guys are at the part of the world. However, in Singapore, we do have pretty high internet speeds, right? But having said that, okay, the high internet speed, the high connectivity is really sort of a marketing sort of gimmick. Okay, if you were to just Google, right, in Singapore, we live in high-rise apartments, right? High-rise apartment buildings, and the internet speed, okay, let's say I'm currently running 1 gigabyte per second, right? It sounds amazing, right? It means the moment you click download, you're getting 1 gigabyte worth of speed. All right, that means you can stream Netflix, okay, without even any hiccups at all. It doesn't even take time to load, right? However, in an apartment building, this 1 gigabyte is actually shared by all the residents in the apartment building. So if you're going to do a speed test, right, the bandwidth that is actually allotted to me, to my family in my apartment is really down to perhaps around 300 to 350 megabytes per second. Now, to be fair, that is still considerably quite quick. However, I'm actually paying for 1 gigabyte per second, but I'm only getting 300 megabyte per second because of the internet bandwidth. All right, so there's an idea of how bandwidth roughly works. And MT4 works very well even with low internet bandwidth, and because of all the it runs on the simplest coding, so that is why you guys don't really have to worry about it lagging so much. Now, I won't mention names, but I have used other brokers, their own proprietary softwares. Okay, it's also been white labeled around. Some other brokers, they share their proprietary softwares around. Now, it's very interesting that some of these softwares are actually quite laggy, right? I'm not sure if you guys have experienced that before. So that is really the reason why MT4 has very high take-up rate and is currently the most popular trading platform. Now, as a side note, I think some of you would actually be wondering, you know, Isaac, I've heard of this MT5, right? Shouldn't MT5 then therefore be better than MT4, since normally the next version is always better? Now, there's been a few arguments, okay, while MT5 was touted to be the successor to MT4, all right, being able to look at stocks through MT5, right, and being able to have the economic calendar on the MT5 application. Now, at the end of the day, I have personally used the MT5 and I compare it with the MT4. The MT5 is buggy. It is a bit laggy, okay. In terms of drawing tools on the chart, it's slightly better. However, at the end of the day, when I want to key in my orders, right, I'm always having issues connecting to the broker. Right, so that is something to bear in mind. Okay, I know FP markets actually do offer MT5, but I firmly believe that as long as you guys are trading FX, MT4 is still the sort of the gold standard, right? That is why for many years now nobody has moved away from MT4. All right, so hopefully that clears up a bit in terms of introduction to why MT4 is really widely used. All right, so Bevan, you say that you need to be able to navigate your way around MT4 better. I really hope that after this session, it would be a big help to you. Okay, so let's get straight into FP Markets website. Okay, let me just pull out the website. Okay, so I really want to show you guys today. This is the agenda for today. So linking your account. I assume all of you have an FP Markets account. All right, and you need to first and foremost download the MT4 terminal into your computer. All right, so let's go straight to it. So what you can do is you can actually go to the fpmarkets.com, okay, the website, and this is the beautiful website that you will see. All right, and all you have to do is, if you guys have already have a FP Markets account, right, all you have to do is you have to click on this top right hand corner, this little button over here, client portal. It will bring you to a website to ask you to log in. Okay, and once you log in, all right, you should see your FP Markets portal. Okay, you see your FP Market portal, you have live accounts at the top, and then you can actually have your demo account at the bottom. Now this account number is very important. Okay, this account number is very important, 518. All right, that's my account number. Okay, now what is also important is to get the MT4 terminal. All you have to do is you go to downloads, you navigate on the left hand side down to downloads. Okay, and once you load downloads, you should be able to see MT4 for Windows, all right, or MT4 for Mac. Okay, now MT4 can, the beautiful thing about MT4 is that it can also be installed on your mobile devices, right? So if you have your iPhone or you have your Android phone, right, you can actually download MT4 onto your phones, right? So I do have MT4 on my Samsung, right? So but this is the PC we're talking about. So if you guys are on Windows, download the one for Windows. If you guys are on Mac, all right, on Apple, download the one for Mac. Okay, once you have installed it, let me just pull it up for you guys. Okay, you guys should see something like that. You guys should actually see a platform that is like that. Okay, so I will show you guys how to link your account. All right, take note that you go back to accounts. Okay, if you guys have a live account or a demo account, take note of this number here. Right, you need to take note of this number over here. Sorry, let me just change the color. Okay, you need to take note of this number over here. This number is important, okay, to actually link it to your MT4. All right, so you go back to your MT4. Okay, sorry. You go back to your MT4, and what you have to do is click File, and then click Open an Account. All right, you guys have to click Open an Account. So when you click Open an Account, you should see FP Markets, right? If you guys are unable to find FP Markets, all right, click Add a New Broker, and then just search FP Markets. Okay, and of course I already searched FP Markets. I've connected it over there, FP Markets. All right, and once it's connected, okay, key in your password, key in your account number, and click Remember the account number, right? And once that is linked, you should see something like that, and the markets are moving now. All right, so you'll see the ticker going, all right, blinking quite fast. All right, everybody clear about this so far? How to link your account? Do you guys want me to sort of go through that again? Downloading the MT4 terminal and then linking your MT4 account. Okay, yeah, you guys are okay with it. Bevan's okay. All right, so I won't have to go through the linking of the MT4 again. Very straightforward. Just log into your client portal on FP Markets and then go to downloads. Okay, navigate to downloads, download the MT4 terminal, whether is it for Windows or for Mac. And once you install it, click File. All right, click Open an Account. All right, it'll be there. When you click Live, okay, or Demo, press Next. They will show you existing trade account. So all you have to do is key in your login, which is your account number. Click in your password, and then you click Finish. And once you click Finish, all these things should load up. Okay, so everybody is clear. I will now move on to navigating the MT4 platform. Okay, so first and foremost, your MT4 platform will probably be something like that. Now, I want you guys, okay, to take note of something which is really, really important. Under Market Watch, on the left-hand side, you guys will probably have this Market Watch, what do you call it? A window, right? A window. Right click anywhere within this window, okay, right click and then click Show All. All right, that's the idea, the whole idea, because some MT4 when you log in is more or less preloaded, okay, to only show a few pairs, only show probably the majors, probably show the most important commodities, okay. But some of you tend to trade crosses like pound yen, euro yen, okay, cat yen, that kind of thing, right? So when you're trading crosses, it might not appear on the Market Watch, which is why you guys actually have to right click and select show all. So once you click show all, everything, okay, FP market is really fantastic, actually has everything, right? The white color represents FX pairs, okay? Now the gray color here represents metals, commodities, all right? So you have XAU USD, XAG AUD, all right? So it's silver against the gold against the US dollar, silver against the Aussie dollar, silver against the US dollar, all right? And then you have platinum and palladium against the US dollar. All right, so gray is metals, commodities, and then of course you have this blue color, right? Blue color, they are probably in the CFDs for index, okay? Index, you have the VIX, you have the oil, the CFD oil index, and some crypto, right? You have crypto over here, the major, right? The major cryptocurrencies, right? Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, all right, and then of course they have natural gas as well. And then of course you have orange are CFDs for stocks, all right, and yellow are stocks as well, blue color are stocks as well. Okay, so USDX, all right, is actually the DXY, which is the dollar index. Okay, so very nice, you can actually trade the CFD for the dollar index here as well. All right, so you have to remember, right click, show all. Okay, another thing that I want you guys, some of you may only have symbol, bid, ask, and you guys might be wondering, Isaac, what is this exclamation mark over here? Okay, if you guys don't have this exclamation mark, I'm walking through this with you guys now. Same thing, right click anywhere under market watch and select spread. Okay, you got to select spread. Okay, what the spread tells you is basically the difference, all right, between the bid and ask price. All right, the difference between bid and ask price. Okay, so just an example over here, FP markets has pretty low spreads, okay, especially for the majors. All right, when you see this exclamation mark, let's just take pound dollar as an example. Let me highlight it. Okay, let me just bring it out. Okay, let's take pound dollar as an example, and let's go down to the M5. Okay, and I will zoom in. Okay, so taking pound dollar as an example, all right, when you see this exclamation mark that says 17, 16, 17, 16, sometimes it goes to 15. All right, what it means is that is the spread between the bid and ask, and that's the number of pipettes. Okay, the exclamation mark is in pipettes. So when you see 17, the spread is actually 1.7 pips. All right, so it's actually 1.7 pip spread. Okay, if you see something like normally exotics, okay, so exotics will be, let's try to find one that's really high. Okay, dollar ruble, okay, that's really high. So it's 2.6, okay, right now is jumping a lot. Okay, so let's just say around 2.425. Okay, 2,500. All right, what it means is that there is literally a difference of 250 pips, right? 2,500, 250 pips, which means if you want to go long, all right, you're going to have to buy, okay, at you'll buy at the market, all right, or you get in at 74.1. If you want to go long, you'll get in at 74.18, about there. All right, and price will have to move, all right, 250 pips until you are break even. So you will immediately have a floating, all right, a negative amount, so to say, a floating negative amount. All right, are you guys clear so far about how this spread works, this exclamation mark? Okay, so it's very important to know that what is the spread, okay, of this of each currency pair, right? This spread immediately tells you how volatile the pair is and whether it's really worth your time to trade. Okay, so always remember to make sure that you see the symbol, the bid, the ask, and the exclamation mark. All right, exclamation mark, very important. Okay, so now that we have the market watch, I'll navigate you guys to below. Okay, just below you guys will probably have this navigator. If you guys want to see more pairs, okay, you can actually just drag. This is pretty straightforward. All right, I don't normally use the navigator, but the navigator is important if you guys want to put in your own expert advisors, if you guys want to put in manage your indicators or your trading scripts. All right, so the navigator is important. Okay, so the navigator actually shows, all right, that currently I have connected my live account, all right, under FP Markets. It shows all the indicators that are available in MT4. Okay, at the same time, it shows the expert advisors that you can load onto the page. Okay, and how you actually load. Let's say I have a moving average. I want to remove this moving average, right? So I'll right click and remove it. An example, if I want to put Ichimoku, right? I just have to open indicators, I search for Ichimoku, I click and drag it onto the chart body itself. Okay, and then a pop-up will appear. Okay, and all I have to do, I can actually change the inputs of the Ichimoku. All right, and I can change the colors and the style. All right, all I have to do is click OK, and it will appear. Now this is the M5, so you can't really see much, and I zoomed in quite a bit. All right, so let me just zoom out to H4. Okay, so the Ichimoku looks something like that. Okay, if I want to remove the Ichimoku, I can either right click on the Ichimoku. Okay, it's a bit tricky to select the Ichimoku. Okay, I can right click on it, or an alternative is I press Control I for indicator, right? So Control I will open up this small box. Okay, then you see the Ichimoku loaded here. I can either edit the parameters again, okay, or I can delete it. Now once I delete it, it's off the chart. Okay, so Control I is a very nifty trick. Let's say I want to put MACD. Okay, just click OK, just click and drag Ichimoku. Okay, it's over there. And let's say I want to look at trend indicators, moving average. Okay, it's right there. And let's say I want to change one of the indicators, right? Instead of zooming in to click on the indicator, I just press Control I, all right, and this box will come out and I can select. Okay, I can select which one I want to edit. Okay, so let's say I want to edit the moving average to maybe 21 periods. Okay, and then I click close, it changes. Okay, so it's really quite straightforward. Okay, and if I want to erase all, I can just select, click delete, 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 and I'm left with an empty chart. Okay, so I hope this is a neat trick, okay, to quickly add indicators onto the chart. Now, if you guys don't use navigator, you can actually just minimize it. Not that important. All right, really, navigator is not that important in my opinion. Okay, another thing that I really want to point out to you guys, all right, is this thing. Okay, over here, very important. Two things that you guys need to understand. Okay, this chart shift, this arrow, this little red arrow, all right, this little red arrow, and I also want you guys to insert this thing called the data window. All right, if you guys don't use the navigator, you guys can actually just drag the data window to this side. Okay, and you should see everything all line up together. Okay, so let's say I don't use the navigator, I can just click on this little X, cancel them, and I'll just have the market watch and data window. Now the data window is good because the data window actually shows at whichever candle, all right, the open, high, low, close, and the volume traded. All right, so that's also very useful, especially if you guys are very interested in looking at the closing price, all right, or even the opening price, or the high of the day and the low of the day. Okay, so that is important, right? Data window and chart shift. Okay, so chart shift, I tend to toggle chart shift all the time because let's say now chart shift is on. All right, you will see that the chart, there's a bit of a space over here, right? There's a huge space over here. Okay, if the chart shift is off, all right, the last candle will be pushed right to the end of the chart. Okay, and that works. Okay, and that actually helps me to see the big picture sort of thing. Okay, but I generally like chart shift to be on. Okay, it gives a bit more room for me to put a bit more drawings in the future. All right, another thing, okay, is this auto scroll, chart scroll. Okay, so chart shift is this little red candle. Okay, chart scroll is this little green candle. Okay, so when you have the chart scroll option, all right, it always scrolls to the end of the chart. All right, so right now we see the final candle, this pound dollar, we see the current candle over here, right? Even if I shift it all the way back, you realize that my chart keeps jumping to the last, okay, it keeps jumping to the last candle, right? So this might be a bit frustrating. Some of you may actually scroll backwards and wonder, oh man, how come my chart is always jumping to the last candle? Now you just need to turn off the chart scroll. Okay, when you turn off the chart scroll, you can actually go back into the past without worrying that your chart will jump to the last candle. Now, if you want to very quickly jump back to the last candle, all you have to do is just toggle it and turn it on. Okay, so these are the two buttons that I use very frequently: the chart shift and the chart scroll. Okay, clear so far? Any questions? Okay, any questions? All right, I see Bevan has a question, not related to MT4, not an issue. I will answer you, Bevan. All right, just give me a while. I just want to see whether anyone has any questions related to MT4 for now. Okay, no questions then. Let's answer Bevan's question. Do the CFDs on the commodities trade the same as the FX pairs? Okay, I will need you to clarify your questions a bit. What do you mean by do they trade the same as the FX pairs? Do you mean the spreads are the same? Or do you mean that we trade CFDs on commodities the same the same way we trade FX pairs? All right, or what do you mean, right? I think it will help if I could get a clearer reasoning, like where you're coming from. Basically, I would like to know where you're coming from. Okay, so if I know where you're coming from, I can answer you better. All right, so while we wait for Bevan to type in his reply, let's move on. Okay, so I've covered the chart shift and the chart scroll. Okay, so now if you guys want to customize your charts, right? So I have red, I have green candles. Okay, I can always insert a new chart. Insert, okay, chart. Let's see, file, new chart. Okay, any chart. Let's say pound dollar. Okay, this is the default. All right, this is the default for MT4. All right, so I will show you guys how to customize your chart. Okay, Bevan's question is, do we trade commodities the same way we trade FX pairs? Okay, take for example XAU USD. All right, let's just take for example XAU USD. Yeah. Okay, so XAU USD basically go against the US dollar. Yes, you can trade it the same as FX pairs, but I do want to point out to you all that you got to be careful of the what do you call that, futures contract expiring. Okay, while these are CFDs, they are not the actual instrument that you are trading. All right, CFDs are just mirroring the underlying, which is the gold spot or the futures market. Okay, and when it comes to futures market, there is this thing about expiry date or contract rollover, right? So the contracts actually roll over 4 times a year, so you need to know when is the next contract going to roll over. All right, so very quickly, if you need to know the contract expiry, all you have to do is just type gold contract, okay, expiration dates. All right, and they will, CME, which is a proper exchange, will actually show you over here. All right, so let's just go to gold futures calendar. Okay, so the contract month for February. All right, the main month that that people normally look at, all right, is if I'm not wrong, it's April, June, October, and December, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let me just gold futures contract, main contract. Okay, give me a moment, guys. I just want to be sure I'm giving you guys the right info. Don't really want to give the wrong info. If I give the wrong info, it's going to be disastrous. Okay. Okay, so let's look at gold futures. Oh, sorry, wrong one. GC1 commodity. Okay, so there's a Bloomberg. Okay, contract table. All right. Okay. So yeah. So gold contracts. Okay. It's just something to take note of. All right. It's February, April, June, August, October, December. All right. These are the few months. All right. These are the few months that every 2 months, right? Every 2 months, the gold contract will actually roll over. All right. So you guys got to take note of it. And very interestingly, the CME will report, okay, the open interest. So it's very important to know, all right, currently the most actively traded gold contract is the April contract. Okay, so the April contract has 394,000, okay, open contract. Okay, so that's the open interest. It means it's the most heavily traded one. All right, so this is April is the month that we really need to look out for. All right, so you can actually just type gold futures contract. All right, as I showed you guys earlier. Okay, and yeah, under CME, okay, gold futures group. All right, you guys can actually show the settled contract specification, the calendar. Sorry, the calendar, right? And the calendar will actually tell you, okay, that April last trade is on the 28th, right? It settles on the 28th. Means that people, okay, stay with me. People that trade the the actual contract market for gold, right? They will have to roll over their positions, the hedge funds, the banks, right, the gold traders. If they want to hold on to paper contracts, all right, they will actually have to roll over their contract before the 28th of April. And normally it's done about 1 week, right, 1 to 2 weeks before the rollover, right? How do I know this? Because I have worked and I have advised hedge funds and even institutions doing analysis for them on gold. All right, so that is just something for you guys to note. Okay, so normally it's about 1 to 2 weeks before that. Okay, so always be sure of the expiry date. So when you go back to looking at the CFDs, right? Okay, I would advise you guys to actually stay away from that period, from the market during that period, 1 to 2 weeks before the contract rollover. All right, reason is because you don't really know. Okay, give me a moment. You won't fully know, okay, when your broker is going to change the contract dates. All right, this one you won't really know. Okay, even the contract specification here, it doesn't say anything. All right, so it's just something for you guys to keep in mind. Okay, so yeah, so if you guys are going to trade commodities, just take note of the contract rollover. All right, Bevan, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so back to MT4. All right, I already touched the auto scroll and chart shift. Now I want to show you guys how to change the background of the chart. Okay, I don't really like grids on my chart. I love to keep my charts clean and neat. All right, something like that. So how do you do this? Okay, there are two ways. You can either right click anywhere on the chart and select properties. It should bring about the chart properties. That's one way. The second way is actually to click charts at the top, the toolbar charts, and then you select properties. It brings up the same thing again. All right. So normally what I do is I prefer black on white. You can select black on white and then you can change the color a bit over here. Okay, so you can change your background to say maybe gray, for example. You click OK, it changes. All right, And this is really the background that I like, the classic one. If you guys want to use it, okay, I will leave it here so you guys can use your computer screenshot, okay, to just screenshot this shot right now. So if you guys really want a very neat chart with no graphs, no grid lines whatsoever, classic red on green, okay, and why I like a bit of a darker background compared to pure white is because not all colors match nicely on the white. All right, so you can have a neon pink. All right, imagine you have a neon pink. Let's say I want to draw a trend line. Okay, you guys already took a screenshot of this. All right, this is my setup in terms of the chart properties. Okay, once you guys have taken a screenshot, leave it there for another 10 seconds. Okay, done. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so I can draw a trend line. Okay, I can edit the trend line and I can choose a color, say maybe neon pink. Okay, magenta, they call it magenta. So magenta actually shows up quite nicely against a gray background. All right, even really some yellow color, okay, also shows up very nicely against a gray background. All right, even a very bright color like aquamarine also shows nicely against a gray background. But if you're going to use it against a white background, it's going to be a headache. It's going to be very, very hard to see. Okay, so that's why I prefer slightly off-white. All right, not so much a proper white background. So if you guys want to draw, okay, draw your tools on MT4. All right, I want to show you guys, okay, drawing MT4 can be a bit confusing. All right, so let's say, okay, I draw a trend line. All right, any trend line. All right, if I want to bring up a box, okay, to show all the things that I've drawn, okay, let me just change the color of this trend line first so it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, let's just say I like this blue. Okay, so let's say I draw one trend line, I draw a second trend line, I draw a third trend line, many trend lines all over the place that probably doesn't even work. Okay, so one trend line here, another trend line here. I was coming back to this trend line resistance on gold. Okay, so many trend lines, right? Now, some people want to delete individual trend lines. Okay, let's say I want to keep, okay, an example. Let's say I want to keep this trend line and this trend line. All right, I want to keep this too. Now, how do I get rid of all this, right? If I press Control Z, right, it's just going to show up. It's just going to work for a few clicks only, right? How do I delete this? Okay, all you have to do is move your mouse over to the trend line, double click on the trend line. The moment you see these white boxes, right? The white boxes are the place that allows you to adjust the trend line, okay? The moment you see these white boxes, okay, you press delete and it will individually delete that very trend line, okay? So if let's say I want to delete these two trend lines and leave this one alone, I just have to double click on both. Once it's double click, once the drawing is actually selected, right, you will see white boxes on the drawing itself, okay? And once it's there, just press delete and you will delete those two drawings, okay? See, so like I've selected this now, I delete this. All right, so this is how drawings work. Okay, now let's say an example. I have just drawn this trend line. Okay, I'm going to erase. Let me just erase all drawing. I have just drawn this trend, these two trend lines. Okay, and maybe I want to draw another trend line from the top over here. And I realized that I've drawn the latest trend line wrongly. I don't have to double click it. Since it was the last element that I have drawn, all I have to do is press the backspace. So when you press the backspace, it deletes the last element that you have drawn, right? But if you want to selectively delete the element, okay, you have to double click on the element until you see the white boxes. Okay, when you see the white boxes, you can just double click, see the white boxes, press the delete key, and it will be deleted. Okay, same thing goes for any drawing, right? Even a horizontal support resistance, all right, kind of thing. Okay, all right, let's say I want to delete like this was the last element I drew, right? This horizontal line at the bottom was the last element I drew. So I want to remove it, I just press backspace. However, if I want to keep this last support line that I drew on the chart, but I want to delete the one previously before that, all I have to do is double click on it. Okay, once I've double click on it, now horizontal line, the white boxes are at the end of the chart. You see, one small white box and another small white box. Okay, it allows you to adjust it. Okay, once it's selected, you can click on it and click delete. All right, and then that level will be deleted. All right, so I hope I've helped you guys with setting up the charts. Okay, setting up your charts. Just remember, okay, once you set up the chart, the properties, right? Once you set it up there, okay, just let me delete all this. Okay, once you've set it up there, to save your time, you can select chart and then you click template and you click save template. All right, you can save your template and you can call it, okay, let's just say Isaac for FP. All right, so I've saved this chart Isaac for FP. I can go to any chart like that. All right, right click, select template, look for the template that you've saved it as. The moment you click on it, it immediately becomes the same setup. All right, so that really saves time for you guys, and I hope that is a bit of a nice trick that I have put in store for you guys. Okay, now last but not least, okay, there are time frames out here. Okay, you want to only see the key time frames. Okay, you can actually select the toolbar at the top, select customize. All right, okay, give me a moment. Okay, once you select the customize toolbar, you can actually choose, okay, the time frame that you want. Of course, I've inserted all the time frame, but my style is that of a swing trader, so I don't look at the 5 minutes, I can remove it. I don't look at the 1 minute, I can remove it. I don't look at 15, very rarely the 30. I can just do this and I click close, and over here you see it's just the monthly, weekly, daily, H4, H1, and M30. All right, so I can toggle between the time frames very easily. Okay, so very straightforward to sort of tidy up your toolbar. All right, same thing goes for the drawings as well. Okay, I only use vertical, horizontal, and Fibonacci levels. Okay, so if you guys use Gann, okay, or Fibonacci fan, or you want to show a rectangle, okay, you can actually insert it, right, that kind of thing, and then it will appear and you can start drawing your rectangles. Okay. Any questions so far about drawing, customizing the toolbar, setting up the charts? All right, no questions. That is really pretty much okay, let me show you guys. Okay, yeah, that's really pretty much the basics of MT4. All right, that's really pretty much the basics of MT4. Now, I just want to dive a bit deeper. I have about 5 to 8 minutes left. Okay, I just really want to dive deeper into MT4. Now, two things. Okay, the first thing is when navigating MT4, all you see is a mouse. It's going to be very hard. Always have this crosshair tool ready. Okay, it's just Control F. All right, and it will show you the crosshair. Okay, and you can actually this actually works very well with the data window because it actually shows you exactly at that candle, all right, what is the open, high, low, close, and the volume. Okay, so you know you are looking at that specific candle. All right, so you can see the data changes as I slowly move around. And now Control F is a very important shortcut, because if let's say you have a profit target, right? Let's say I have a profit target at this swing high, and I want price, and I want to and I'm waiting for price to really push higher to this swing high here. Okay, so I want to measure how many pips that is. Control F, right? Control F, it brings up the crosshair. I can start from here where price is. Click, don't let go of your left click, and drag, and they'll show you that, okay, it takes about 15. The first number is the number of candles, 15 candles, 14 candles. All right, it'll move around 460.2 pips. Okay, and the price is at 1.42394. All right, that's what the numbers stand for. Okay, same thing. Okay, Control F, let's say you from here you want to play higher. Okay, it's about 19 candles, 23 candles, currently 894.3 pips. Okay, so Control F is very, very useful, right? The crosshair is actually very useful. Okay, so that is the first thing, right? That is the first thing. Now the second thing that it has happened to me before, and I want to advise you guys, okay, is give me a moment, I need to look for it. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, now I want you guys to go to tools, okay? Under tools, go to options, all right? And then under options, select charts, okay? And then under show trade levels, select use alternate key to drag trade levels. Okay, you need to use alternate key to drag trade levels. Okay, once this is selected, what this means is, let's say I want to key in a sell trade, okay, a sell trade for pound dollar. Okay, I have a pending sell trade. Let me just erase. Okay, show you guys very quickly. I have a pending sell trade, okay, at this level. I'm waiting for price to come up, okay, trigger it, and then I'll go short. Okay, an example. So let's say I have a pending sell trade at that level, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, okay, pending order, sell limit at the price will be 1.423996. Okay, something like that. Now take profit is just going to be an let's just say 1.336. Let's say I'm going short, okay, and stop loss, say maybe 1.42500, something like that, round number. Okay, so once the trade is successful, it will show you successful, you press OK. All right, you have a pending order down below. Now I want to show you guys something. Okay, I'm going to erase all drawings, so it's going to be okay, and I want to erase the horizontal line. Okay, now this is on the weekly. I'm going to go down to the daily and I'm just going to show you guys. Okay, do you see that currently my take profit is over here? Now, because I actually select use alternate key to drag trade levels, I'm not sure about you guys, but it has happened to me before where I'm just clicking around on my chart, and an example, maybe I have a horizontal level that I drew over here, and instead of wanting to, let's say okay, let's say this option is turned off. Okay, instead of wanting to adjust my horizontal line, right, instead of wanting to adjust my horizontal line, there are times that I have accidentally clicked the stop loss, okay, or take profit level, or even the entry level, and I accidentally adjusted it. Okay, right, and then it suddenly jumps and I'm like, oh crap, where is my previous level? All right, so having the alternate option, right, being selected, having the alternate option being selected actually saves you that heartache. Okay, and the sticky thing about MT4 is, let's say you have your take profit here. I have my take profit here. Now I want to select the take profit and the horizontal line. Okay, it's going to be a bit tough because they're at the same level. I can't really select it. Okay, but let's say I want to adjust my pending order. Okay, when I select my pending order, my entire take profit and stop loss moves along with it. Right, you see that? Okay, it moves along with it. But the thing is, I just want to move my pending order lower. Okay, so normally you have to adjust it from here. Right, I don't want to move my stop loss and my take profit together. Okay, so it's very important to prevent such an issue. Very important to go to tools, option, charts, use alternate keys. And what that means is, you see now I'm only moving the horizontal line. Okay, if I want to move the take profit line, okay, all I have to do is I select alternate and click and drag. All right, and then it will move my levels, okay, my pending order levels accordingly. All right, so that's really all the time. Okay, that's really the tricks that I want to share with you guys regarding MT4. Okay, so what are some of the tips, okay, when using MT4? Like I shared with you guys, always toggle the chart shift. always keep your chart tidy, right? A messy chart, okay, will create a messy trading mindset. All right, I always believe that. Okay, I always believe that an analysis has to be clean, an analysis has to be simple, an analysis has to be concise. Okay, and of course, customize your toolbar. All right, so you can have quick access to all the different time frames. Okay, remember shortcut keys like Control B to bring out the list for objects, Control I to bring out the list for indicators, and Control F to bring out the crosshair. Okay, and number 4, have market data and data window ready. All right, so you guys will ask, how come always good to have market data, market watch ready? Okay, because let's say you have a few tabs, right, and you want to quickly shuffle through the chart. Okay, let's say right now I want to look for euro yen. I don't want to slowly scroll. I don't want to click file, new chart, and then slowly search for euro yen. It's very tedious. All I have to do is under market watch, just type EURJPY. It will immediately link me euro yen, click and drag. It will load up the chart. It's very quick. Okay, and that's also the reason why at the start I said you have to right click and click show all. Right, then you will, whatever pair you type in will definitely be shown there. All right, so wish you guys all the best. Let me just go back to that screen for you guys. Okay, so these are the tips. All right, these are definitely the tips. And last but not least, all right, any questions that you guys might have? I'm sorry we ran out of time. But any questions that you guys might have, you guys can actually email to support@fpmarkets.com, right? And the team will assist you. Otherwise, if you want a recording, you can go to fpmarkets.com/trading-webinars/. It will be uploaded there or onto FP Markets YouTube channel. All right, so wish you guys all the best. Trade safe, stay safe. It's really great to be doing this webinar with you guys, and I look forward to more sessions together, proper teaching sessions instead of an introductory one like MT4. But nevertheless, I hope it has been helpful. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you guys the next time.